Ironwood Games. This is Andrew, and welcome back to our quick draft Wilds of Eldraine. If you watched our drafting video, you know we've got this white-black, hopefully bargain value deck. We first picked Sir Ginger. We're not actually running Sir Ginger in the deck, but it's always fun. I enjoy how they make the art, the card you first pick, and sometimes it's what you're playing and sometimes it's not, but this is a pretty good picture. So, I mean, it does nothing, but I think, like, oh, that looks pretty cool. Looks like a good deck. All right, so let's jump into our matches here. Let's see what this deck does and if we can get any wins out of it. Again, this is not an archetype I am super familiar with. I've done a handful of so no planes and a handful of white cards makes this a mulligan. Here we go. We'll keep this. Now we gotta send something back. Tempted to send Moment of Valor back. Because this deck does nothing. Trying to think if our opponent, so we can get a 3/4. If our opponent gets power 4 or greater, that kind of outclasses us, and having this as a removal might be better. Break the spell, letting us draw a card, lets us get back in. I'm gonna put the cheeky house mouse. A 1 or a 2/1 for 1 is fine, but I don't know what my opponent's doing, and if that gets outpaced on turn 2, I can put down a 2/2. And I just think that's gonna put us in a. I mean, keeping the 1 mana 2/1 could have been really, really good. We could have played it hit for 2 on this turn. And gotten ahead, and we'll keep that in mind. But here we go. So our opponent's playing maybe like red celebration, red-white celebration. With impact tremors, putting creatures in to deal damage to us. That is a perfect target for like break the spell, which I am glad to have kept in that case. It could just be an incidental thing and not really part of that plan. We'll have to see. I don't mind taking a little bit of hits from impact tremors, but something like this that's going to create 2 rats that can't block and deal us the damage. I think it's worth just firing that off. Blow up the impact tremors. Take the early advantage on that. So we could Shrouded Shepherd, Cleave Shadows, and get rid of our opponent's rats. They can't block anyways. We can alternatively put the Wicked Roll on our visitor, go in for 3, put our opponent to 15. We go to 18 on that. If they make more rats, then we get more value out of Shrouded Shepherd. I think that's gonna be a better play. If we draw the land, we've got plenty of options. Yeah, see, so now our Shrouded Shepherd, Cleave Shadows, wipes the board. We take the point, played into that beautifully. And I think I'm happy to get a 4/1. Even though it's really just a 2/1, because these were kind of bonus things on that. could hold off on that longer and try and, you know, be a little greedy and get some more out of it. But I think putting our opponent to 12, getting rid of their board, and being in a pretty good spot. Getting a wicked roll on that, so this is definitely something I would love to Grasp of Fate, but we need another Plains. We can play a Menace. We can play a Shepherd and enchantment, tap target creature an opponent controls. Well, we're not playing any enchantments yet. However, if we drop Plains next turn, we can Shepherd. No, we can't do both off of Plains. I think we do this to build up the board. We sit back, let's see what our opponent does. We're not going to attack into the 3/4, so we'll sit here. The Menace is good if our opponent didn't have another creature to play and couldn't, you know, threaten to double block it. But it's just a 2/3. They don't have good attacks here either, and so I think more than likely they wouldn't have done that. So now here again, our Plains, we might have to go and swap a Swamp for a Plains in this build. I just usually auto it, and here's the question. We would like, I know it's not like the most efficient, but I think just building the board, no attacks, having the ability to tap things down to maybe get some attacks in, because if we can tap the 3/4, none of these are very good blocks against what we have. Okay, so Dark Tutelage is interesting. Our opponent's in a spot where, in my opinion, losing life to draw a card is going to be bad if they're behind, so I really need to put pressure on. So the thought is, if we can Grasp of Fate their thing. We have 2 mana we can't do anything with. We can alternatively tap down their Swarm Piper and then play the Shepherd, which lets me make this into a 5/5, which means if they double block here, they can blow up the Rhyme for Reindeer and take 5. Otherwise, they don't have good blocks. The Skewer Slinger doesn't do enough. And I'm fine losing this Reindeer. I'm not doing a ton of things with it. Yeah, I think we'll kill the Menace. Be happy for that exchange. Our opponent getting land off the Dark Tutelage is good for them, but they are down to 7. And we just need to keep the pressure on. We still have Grasp of Fate. Excuse me. If we draw a land, any land, we can Grasp of Fate and Conceited Witch. Okay, so they got us with the Rankle's Prank, forcing us to discard. That's fine. They want us to sacrifice 2 creatures. So we'll sacrifice this one and this one. Yeah, our opponent is now out of cards, so we're going to play Knight of Doves. That seems fine. We're not going to attack. Our opponent gets to draw a little bit more, but losing life to Dark Tutelage does put them on a bit of a clock. They need to really draw some things. But can they? What have you got? You're going to be able to give it Death Touch. So we don't need to block. I don't need to trade for one. We'll keep a card in hand to discard since they had at least one Rankle's Prank. There's a chance they may have more discard. No attacks. We're happy to kind of let them kill themselves with Dark Tutelage. We're far enough away that even with these, like, it's very likely they die to Dark Tutelage in their next turn, on their next upkeep. I think we can still again afford to take the one. We likely attack with everything. This is interesting, but yeah, I think we attack with everything. And the reason being is they only have 2 blockers. They go to 1. Most likely Dark Tutelage kills them. If they had blocked and gone to 1, I think we play Ashiok second main. Make the 2 1/1 blockers. One of them would trade with the rat. And I think keep 1 alive. Again, we take 4 off of that exchange, depending on what they draw. If they draw a land off the Dark Tutelage, they're alive, something else. I think that still puts us in pretty good position to get that. Any future turn they have, they're at 1 life. They need to get some life gain to make that work. And that's, if you guys watched the draft I did, where like Dark Tutelage is good, it's so slow, and unless you're doing some life gain or something else, I find too often, if your deck is a little slow and you get behind on life, it's just not good. You end up losing enough life more often to it to put you in, a bad spot. And so that's where, and then we played into that, recognizing, well, they have Dark Tutelage, so we've got to keep the pressure on them to keep them from getting value out of it and actually make it more costly on them. So I think that went well. Let's jump into the next one. We'll hope for, a similar situation. We did take that mulligan. It was good. Putting the mouse on the bottom, I think, was good. That 1/1 did get outclassed pretty quickly. It could have traded with some things. But I think it was not unnecessary. Oh, we didn't look at our land distribution, but this time we have now 3 plains, no swamps. So the challenge with this hand is we need 2 land, any 2 lands to play Dutiful Griffin. That's fine. We need a swamp to search. Or to draw and lose 2 life, I think, and we need a land to play this. This doesn't do anything. So I think since this is absolutely nothing, 6 is better than this. We just can't keep that. If our opponent has something to do, yeah, this is fine. This lets us get out. We'll throw, I think, a swamp back. Even though we have all black cards here, we saw last time that double white was critical. Nothing here is double black. And we're not going to get to the point quickly where we're trying to spend. Well, now we got Ashiok the double black spell. So a little bit punished there, but that's all right. because next turn we can put the roll token on. Or we can just play out the witch. Ooh, we can put a roll on here, so let's play that out. Royal roll or a wicked roll? Let's play the wicked roll on the wicked visitors. We have a wicked visitor. I played the wicked roll because this is a 3-drop, which I could play from exile sooner. And then if I draw a land, I can play the Conceited Witch and give it a royal roll. And kind of spread my mana out and then play the knight. Alright, that's fine. Draw out a thing. Also the wicked roll. The way it works, this goes to the graveyard before the enchantment does, so it doesn't see the enchantment. The wicked roll, though, does cause the damage to my opponent, so that's pretty good. The other part, now I think we'll just put out a 2/3 to stump this. If my opponent can make another thing, the celebration, then we can't block it. Which you can choose. They can give it menace, they can create the 1/1, they can sacrifice it to scry and draw. There's so many options they could do, and I don't think any of them are bad. They can choose what's best based on what's in their hand and what they've got. So based on what they choose, we can maybe make some inferences here. It seems like menace is the only option that doesn't make sense. I would make the rat token if I have a good hand that I like. I would sack and draw if I'm don't have a land or need something else. So yeah, so since they made the rat token, I'm going to assume it is pretty good. Okay. This rat can't block. So here's where I'm going to create a royal roll on the Conceited Witch. Not drawing that 4th land is really holding us back. I don't think we're in a position to race. We have the Ward 1. The question is, do we just want to play a mouse to the board? I don't think we're going to sneak the damage through the blue one, so I think we just build our board here. We're light on mana, and that's gonna hurt us on that. If we could draw any land, we can play Besotted Knight, we can play Ashiok's Reaper. I think we play Reaper just because it's gonna get us a card draw sooner, which helps us out of this situation. If we draw a swamp and any other land, we'll be able to play Ashiok and again get out of this situation. I'd like to stabilize the board before we get Ashiok down. Or, a little closer so that Ashiok can stick around and we can actually get some value from Ashiok. Our opponent exiling... Oh, our opponent didn't exile that. So the adventures, I didn't realize that the adventures count in exile towards Ashiok, so there's an argument for not playing the Besotted Knight as well. If we get close, like I say, if we get under 20, on this seems like a bad attack for our opponent, because it has first strike, but they're out of mana. I don't know how you get this with more power to kill me. Okay, so our opponent also kind of decided that was a bad attack. I think, again, we're just trying to keep this board stabilized. At this point, go with some value to drag out the game where Ashiok can be a little bit better. Our opponent getting the celebration triggers is pretty good for them. They've got a 3/3 Menace double strike. I don't really want to take 6. I think we get it off the board. I think they can get at the 2-for-1 on this. We will draw the card off of the enchantment. It's not great for us. However, we do get their celebration creature off the board. We get a Knight of Doves, which could have been better. I think here again we just sit back. We do have Ashiok. I'm happy to make trades. Bad attack, bad attack, bad attack. This offers a trade. Depending on what our opponent has. I'm happy to make that trade. I don't love it, but getting celebration creatures off the board is going to be good. And so we'll see what our opponent has here. I think we'll see what we get. It's very likely we could Grim Search. Next turn, just to dig in and draw. Impact Tremors is fine. My opponent has 2 mana available. Okay, gonna return High Wielder. That's pretty good. I'm assuming they give themselves Menace and hit for 4 here. Huh, they give the red cap Thief Menace and hit for 3? Yeah, I think I'm fine taking 3. Okay, that's interesting. So we can... Let's start with the search. We're not going to bargain it. I don't have anything to bargain away. We can play... Do we need to play land, though? That's the question. It's not an instant. That is a sorcery. I think... we just build the board. As much as I don't want to, I think we built the board. Giving the +2/+2 here, because as a 1/3 he's not a great blocker. It dies to a lot of these things. As a 3/5 forces some interesting blocks, or at least keeps some pressure on. It makes some of our opponent's attacks a little bit better, like this rat was blocked by the... Do I need this land? I'm at 5. If I draw another land, I don't have anything I can do with it. I don't. I want to hold the land. Rankle's Rank on that discard is really bad. Our opponent is playing enough black. Or some black, that I should be mindful of that. Be able to keep my Ashiok, because that's, I think, my long-term plan here. We probably need to fire it off. sooner rather than later. Okay, so our opponent is going to go ahead and make all these attacks, which leaves the question of what do they have, and it's very likely they have like a +2, +0 for all their creatures, and if they do 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, we're dead anyways. So I think we make these blocks. If they want to save a creature and kill something, then we're not dead. It's just not, yeah, a great. So that puts us to 1. Wasn't a great spot for us. I think we have absolutely no choice but to Ashiok here. Impact Trippers is going to kill us. Because essentially all they have to do is play a creature.
Ideas start small.
And we are dead. Which, this is a creature. So, we don't have enough. Yeah, this looks like they're going to get us. They just outvalued us. Maybe we should have played Ashiok sooner. Didn't have enough of our removal. And they had enough value. Yeah, that's going to be lethal for us. So, alright, we're 1-1. Not the best showing. But that's okay. We'll jump into game 3 here. Oh, this is such a bad hand. Like, these do absolutely nothing. And this is not a great thing, so we're gonna mulligan again. Yeah, we've not been doing great on our hands. We may not have a good, just a good distribution of things. Yeah, I think Grasp of Fate is good as removal. I think we get rid of the Reaper. We could get rid of Plains, but then we need Plains for Grasp of Fate. We could get rid of Swamp, and then we need to draw 2 lands by turn 4. Let's try it. I think that just gives us more power. I really don't want to keep 3 lands and then draw 2 lands and not have enough action. This still lets us unassuming Sage on turn 2. Drawing a land lets us Grasp of Fate on turn 3. And we've got 2 draws to get there. Yeah, our opponent... okay, just played Make a Food, that's fine. Good, so I'm gonna speculate that they're on a food deck right now. And we'll make a royal roll, attach it here. So we don't mind not having the mana to pay for the sorcerer roll because we knew we had that royal roll coming up. Which still lets us attack for 3. Put this in exile, be able to play it next turn if we want. If we draw the Swamp, I think we play Ashiok's Reaper, just a little bit better. If we don't, and we draw a Plains, I think here, I don't know that I want to attack. I don't... Yeah, no attacks. I'd really like to get Reaper on before an enchantment dies to get the card advantage out of it. There's no guarantee my opponent blocks, but I think they do. Of course, that does make some of our like Return Triumphant and other things better, but we don't have those right now, and so we can always, you know, get something back later. That is the thought if we do decide to block. That is the consideration of Return Triumphant is a 3 mana, brings this back, but doesn't bring that one back. So here we'll Ashiok's Reaper. Now we really don't care about this dying, but I think we hold it back to block. We don't need to attack. We can Moment of Valor the Hollow Scavenger. If we want to, we can Grasp of Fate. I'd rather Grasp of Fate something more impactful. We don't know what our opponent will have, but they have a grip of cards. We're down to 2. I'd really like to start drawing off of the Ashiok's Reaper. But we'll see. They haven't hit its second color. So supposing... Okay, that's good. Fight here, that's fine. That's pretty good for my opponent. The question here is if they attack. So we lost the Reaper, which was going to get us our value. Here, I think the answer is, as bad as it seems, that we just clear the board. We're not going to get any value, but it keeps our opponent from getting value. We should be aware of tricks that are on board, and so the question is, we can Moment of Valor at instant speed, but I think we build the board, threaten the block, see what our opponent has. There we go. They found their swamp. So yeah, I think they're playing black-green food. I'm going to assume they have some black cards in their hand they're holding. The other reason I think playing Griffin is 5 mana here uses all of our mana. If we draw another land, we can Grasp of Fate and Moment of Valor in the same turn. And so it's just a little more efficient. They may not be wanting to make this trade now that they don't have food tokens. So they may not attack. So it, you know, kind of stifles their options, right? Makes them something like now they play the Sweet Tooth Witch instead of something else so that they can threaten on the Hollow Scavenger. Now they're trying to decide. We're not going to block here. I will take the 4. I think they'll keep the food to try and protect the wolf. Yeah, so we're doing fine here. The question is, do we attack with 4 in the air to keep pace, or do we hold it back to threaten? Because here these trade, and these trade, and so Moment of Valor there. I think we hold back. We also can use Moment of Valor to save a creature if we end up in another like fight situation or something, and so I think having that available, yeah, our opponent's getting pretty wide. I really do like this green-black food deck. I don't think it's bad for us. Okay, interesting. So I think we set up our blocks in the way we kind of said here. See what our opponent has. I'm assuming they have something to try and save their creature or do something. We're gonna see if they're happy to go to damage. I think we just destroy it. Oh wait, does it have ward? It has ward. So we can't destroy it. Okay. I really do appreciate that they give us the check. Okay, that's fine. So we'll just take the 4, make the trade, get a thing. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So we could Moment of Valor the Vermin to make the most use of our mana. I think we will do that now that it's bigger. We can Grasp of Fate, the Hollow Scavenger, on our next turn. And then we can swing in. We'll win this race against the Rat. We're both down to 1 card in hand. Controlled by different opponents, yes. Submit. Auto-pay. There is the chance they have, like, the 1 card does give, like, a hexproof effect. Which is fine. We get it out of their hand then. We have 5 drops as our highest, so I don't need to play the land. We'll hold it back until we see what we've got. And again, we're going to go in for this race. Force our opponent to have something, draw some stuff that's better. It's hard to tell. That black-green deck can be kind of mid-range and draw better. Our deck can draw better. I think it's kind of a toss-up as to who gets the better draws. Oh, and I think we will see if our opponent is willing to block and lose the Dream Thief. Yeah, then I don't think we need to. Shrouded Shepherd. Although maybe we should have, it just was an efficient use of mana, but I think we will give our opponent a chance to put down something else with 1 toughness. Yeah, draw a card, lose a life. This is tough. We're at 3-turn clock, but they have the food, so it's really a 4-turn clock. They've got us on an 11-turn clock. They've got an extra draw just now, so they likely have good stuff. It's going to be hard to say. Again, if we can draw better than our opponent, they get another 2-1 Vermin or something, and that's their play, then that's makes our Shrouded Shepherd cannot pronounce that today. Really good. So I think on that, speculating on not taking a 1-for-1 on this, and letting them take that block, I think was good. Okay, I think that's also going to be kind of rough. They get to draw and discard. They get to loot a little bit and filter, but they have to hold some things back for it. I don't love that this is a sorcery speed. Alright, we're going to keep that. If we draw Ashiok, we can play Swamp to put Ashiok down and have double Swamp. Otherwise, we've got just extra cards to threaten something. Yeah, Collector's Vault is good. If they have something to dig towards, you need to draw lands. They are, like, Rat Out is not going to do anything for them, but would be decent for us getting more rats. The other reason this is good to hold up, just because they can make rats incidentally. That's good. I absolutely hate this guy, because we will lose the race to him pretty quick. So my opponent's at 14 life, virtually. If I swing for 4, 14 puts him to 10. I take 7, go to 2. Hit for 6. Put my opponent to 4, and then I'm dead. I think we hold these back because we're now losing this race. And this is where I say my opponent can have, like, this, his deck can definitely get better things. Getting to dig is pretty good. Oh, I really don't want to lose this one too. If we had used this earlier on the thing, we would have a few more life and our opponent would be at the 10 against this 6/6, and then we would be put him to 6. Yeah, we would be able to get that through. So maybe not having plated that Shepherd on that turn and taking the chump was a little greedy. Waiting on that's been a little greedy. I don't know. This is not good if they're using their treasures or something. Okay, just make a human. I don't know why they made the treasures on that, but maybe they've got something else they need the 5 mana for. I'm not sure. That was interesting. If we had another enchantment, we could sacrifice them to get our Griffin back. Okay. It's interesting. Really not sure on this. If this stays a land, I don't think it's till end of turn, if I'm reading that correctly. So we might as well kill it and take the 6. Gives us the ability to still double block and kill that guy. on our subsequent turn. Drawing into lands is not good for us. With Trample, yeah, we could be very dead here if he gets no attacks. Because then Chapter 3 gets to put more tokens here. I need to kill this, but if you get like a Titanic Growth or something, which you could dig into and get. Any kind of kill spell. There's so many things that my opponent has access to that just put them in much better position than I am. And we'll see what they've got. We've got to go for the double block kill here. Let them have a trick. So if they don't put a creature down, this pops and does nothing, which is great. Yeah, they're just going to gain the life right now. That's also fine. Maybe I can draw some decent things. Ashiok is getting close to deadly at 15 cards in hand. I am getting close to dead with drawing lands, which is fine. These things happen. My opponent's Collector Vault is really paying off and doing a lot of work for them. I have 4s. I think I have 2 more 4-drops in Ashiok. I don't know that I want Ashiok. Well, I do if my opponent hasn't gotten any more creatures. Okay, that's fine. Oh my goodness. Another swamp. Okay, we are doing great. The challenge with Ashiok as well is that I need the turns to get Ashiok up, and my opponent can dig into a creature. Oh my goodness, just hitting so many lands. I have to play the Shepherd. To block. Thinking my opponent probably has a removal, has been the other card they've been keeping. Probably pretty dead. And getting to this kind of point of getting it drawn out here, either way, so they can pump it, and will eat my Shepherd. I have to block. Doesn't get trample. At this point, I have to be drawing. Yeah, that's fine. Does it get trample? Yeah, it does get trample. How does it get trample? Creatures you control have trample from Garruk's Uprising. Okay. So I'm dead because of the trample. Alright, we might have misplayed on holding that Shepherd back and should have been happy for the 2-for-1 and getting the free attack in. We unfortunately drew way too many lands there when we had all those turns. Our opponent had the Collector's Vault, which let him get some things. All right, let's go into another one. This one's going to run long as a video, but I'm not doing well. We're on a losing streak. We won the first one. We lost the next two, so we're on game 4 here. And we'll see if we can get squeak out another win before a loss. And I don't know. I'm not confident in it. This deck is fine. I think it's, you know, my skill and comfort with this format. It's not one that I've been great at, and so I think that's showing here in this. Yeah, we'll keep this as we've got some plays. We could maybe get to Ashiok later on. I think we keep guard. The question is, yeah, we have the mana to do both, so we might as well pump this guy, play this guy, attack, and then we've got 3 power on board, and just let's us Restless Cottage. All right, looks like we have another green-black. Monstrosity is fine. All right, there we go. Do we? I think we'll just play Knight of Doves. Offer the trade on the House Mouse. Hold back these for the trades. We're ahead enough on damage that I think this puts our opponent in a thinking spot here, because we go to 16, or they go to 16 if they don't trade, and we'll go to 17 if we don't block. We have the option to block, which means they may not choose to attack, and I think that's their consideration, is take the gift of the trade, or risk just hitting it for damage and taking more on the crackback. Because then they would take 5 on a crackback without anything else. I don't know what's in their hand. They also could have just gotten distracted on that, or not wanted to do it and decided to rope us on it. That's fine. I do not mind. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so next turn, almost definitely we're going to play the Shrouded Shepherd Adventure to get our value. That is plenty value. We're not going to be any greedier than that. If they play more X1s, sure, could be good, but giving them the opportunity to pump things and do that on an untap, I think is bad. I think we just take advantage of that opportunity that presented itself. And here we Ashiok with control of the board.
Make your fear known to me. Leave no mind unspoiled.
We could put them to 6. They have to have a lot. Yeah, I'm not worried. I've got 2 blockers. Haste to kill Ashiok is fine, because then they're tapped out, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on board. Yeah, okay. Glutton is good. gains them their 3 life. I wish these were enchantment creatures, because that would be amazing. Alright, so we're going to plus Ashiok.
Such enticing thoughts.
Exile one of them. We're going to exile the plains. I need to draw the search. I think I prefer Reindeer just to have more things. Don't need... It doesn't let us do it, but I think we can do... now we have enough good blocks. No attacks. On that, 2, 4, 6, and Reindeer. Oh yeah, beautiful. Okay. I think it's important to keep Ashiok alive. That's gonna be good. Yeah, that's fine. Because I probably would have done that block anyways. And now if you attack, you already got damage on you. You're tapped out. I think you have to wait another turn. This is a 7/7. These become 3/3s next turn. We're sitting in a pretty good spot here. I'm not going to call it a victory yet. They still have a card in hand. They have a 6/6 or a 7/7 giant. And they've got some other things, so we don't have clear attacks. I think we are in a stalemate position that favors us, but I'm not sure we're in a stalemate. So we've got to see what our opponent does. And I think they're... Yeah, going for the rope again. I would be more inclined to, say that they're distracted or getting busy, except for, the last time they did the countdown and then they immediately started playing again as soon as the countdown ran out. And so I think they're trying to distract us or frustrate us or tilt us into bad plays. Oh, the trample did kill Ashiok. I didn't think about that. That's fine, actually, because can we artifact, enchantment, or token? Do I have some to bargain? Yeah, I think we do bargain this. Just having the choice of cards is so much better. So put up to 2 of them onto your library. So we'll put Turn Triumphant and Unassuming Sage. Put on the top. I guess it doesn't matter. I want to do that so I can pay the 2. Get the enchantment. Oh, that's beautiful. So we'll keep that on top. Getting 2 Return Triumphants is actually pretty good. Yeah, Trample to lose Ashiok was bad. That was a miss on our part. We should have blocked with Knight of Doves or something. But I guess we didn't. Graveyard to the battlefield. It means we want Wicked Visitor because that gives us our enchantment synergies. I don't think we have a way to get Ashiok back. And that might have been, honestly, a really like smart fight play on our opponent's part to get that trample. I don't know that that's what it was. But if it was, that's, you know, really good. Oh, Grasp of Fate is fine. We'll draw that. Pretty much any non-land is fine to draw, I think. If they want to trade here, I'm fine. Ooh, gonna turn on their cottage to try and take us out. I think that's fine. We get a couple of things out of it, which again we don't mind. So it's a non-land, and that's still a land, right? Yeah, I was gonna say if we could Grasp of Fate the cottage, but it becomes a land at the same time. I don't think we want to use our Return Triumphant yet. I think we're in fine shape. We've got the flyer. We've got some good blockers. Mana value 2 or less. That's pretty good. Let's just create another flyer, put them on a 4-turn clock at the very least. They do get another food token, which is potentially problematic. So this does go away at some point, so I don't think it's worth Grasp of Fating. And I think until they put the token on something, it's not worth it. I do think getting the Wicked Visitor back is worth it. Scrying a land away is fine. Next, I think 2 attackers in the air, put them to 6. And we've got enough blockers to protect our life total. Our life total is far enough ahead. Yeah, if we had kept Ashiok, we would be in so far ahead right now. So that was oof. But that's all right. These things happen. That's how we learn and improve. Let's see what they want to do with attackers. They create another food. Okay, they want to go all in on attacks. They have 1 card. So here's the thing. At 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're dead to our crackback. What can they have that kills us? Nothing. So we just take the damage here. Let them put another counter on. That's fine. None of those blocks are advantageous for us. Whatever they've got here to do. They have the life, sure. But I still think we can afford to take the damage. Token, I think, attached to a bird. Because now we don't have to attack with everything. That gets +1/+1. That makes it a 2, 4, 5, 6. We can keep that back. Next. I think the question is, do we? Force our opponent to pop some food. They have the tap target creature, which lets them get some things on. Yeah, it needs to attack to get a counter. I think we attack this way. Force them to have to crack some food. Eat something. I keep forgetting about this stupid Restless Cottage. I've got to do better about that. Okay. They only have 2 mana. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that's not blocked. Next, that's fine. Put them to 2. We get another burb. The birds are our way to winning. Our path to victory. Holding up the mana for this is giving them some pause. Yeah. So I think second main phase will be Besotted Knight. Man, this guy is just really trying to, like, drag this out somehow, huh? That's fine, though. I got nowhere to be. Play a 3/3. Getting closer to, like, needing to force blocks. With all the food that our opponent has. But they sacked a food, went to 5. Did not attack. Interesting. I think we play another Knight of Doves. Hit 4 in the air. And okay, our opponent decided they didn't have what it would take. Okay. And we got a victory on that. Okay. Despite a couple of our mistakes, we managed to get to 2 and 2. It's been over an hour on this video, so well, hopefully we get another win or 2 in the next video. And the next video is not just a single loss, because that would be real bad content for you guys. But thanks for joining. Hope you enjoyed those games. I know we made a number of mistakes, but feel free. Let us know in the comments. Let me know, what other mistakes, how we could have done that differently, what you might have done. And yeah, otherwise, like the video, subscribe to the channel for more content, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.